Okay, we're moving on to our next session here, and this next session is going to be epic. Early on when the Great Discovery, as we were, kind of in our concept stage, we had just rolled out the Great Discovery course, the fourth generation of Six Sigma, and we've kind of laid it out for the kids and the teens, and we launched this platform with it. At that point is when we crossed paths with Dennis DiNoia at Mr. D Math, and he got it. He saw what we're doing, and I think he saw the broader vision of where we've kind of evolved and generated to now is truly a global, you know, uh, education marketplace is really what it is, where content is delivered in 120 languages with people being able to share worldwide. There is no restriction. There is no, place where you can't go. How many people can be empowered by sharing Dr. Melanie's content out around the world, or Corey's, or anyone's, or it's anyway, excuse me, Dennis DeNoia came in, and we've just adored him. He's come in and actually took the role as our chief learning officer, really overseeing that there's a lot of the content for its quality and effectiveness to make sure it's structured right. It has that math mindset. Go figure. He wants everything very precise, and we actually love him for that. So this next session that Dennis Noy is going to be coming up with is basically homeschooling success stories. And a little bit of background on Dennis. He's the chief learning officer at the Great Discovery and the founder of Mr. D Math, one of the most trusted names in homeschool education. He's a Florida State certified secondary mathematics teacher since 1988. Dennis is better known by families as Mr. D, began a traditional classroom teacher and a private tutor, helping students finally make sense of math. His passion for making learning click led him to create Mr. D Math, an innovative online platform now offering engaging courses in math, life skills, SAT, ACT prep, American Sign Language, grammar, and more. Today, Dennis brings decades of teaching experience and a deep love for student success to the homeschooling community, helping parents raise confident, independent learners who thrive both in academics and in life. I love it. And so, Dennis, take it away, my friend. I will jump out of your way and grab my pen. It's a gap meeting with Dennis.
Gotcha. All right. Spotlight. Okay, there we go. Hi, everyone. So this is, for me, year number 37 as a professional educator. I'm like, wow, it's that long. So I'm super excited to still be in the game. My role has shifted quite a bit over the last few years because I have an amazing staff that really, they're just amazing. That's what I can tell you. So they are kind of take care of everything for me in the background, allow me to do some different things. And over the years, we've developed a program. But 1988, I was a classroom teacher. I worked in dropout prevention, and I had long hair back then. Actually, I still have long hair. It's pulled up right now. But back then, they said, look, you're perfect for those kids, for the troubled kids. And so that's where I went. And then in the summertime, they said, look, you're perfect. We're going to send you out to the juvenile detention facility. And we want you to work with the kids that are they've been locked down and they're in, basically in juvenile jail, right? Came back out and they said, wait a minute, you're really great with the gifted kids. And so we want you in the gifted classroom. So my career in education has really spanned everything from dropout prevention to gifted to traditional classroom. But as a school teacher, I kind of struggled with one thing, and that was income. I was living in Florida at the time, and as a Florida educator, I want you to think about this. 1988, my beginning salary was $32,000 a year. If you try to do that today, there's no way. Back then, it was hard. Today, it's impossible. And so I started looking at, well, what else can I do? So I started tutoring on the side, and I was one of those road tutors that was on the road every day, 4 and 5 students a day, driving from one house to the next, and the next, and the next. I left school at 3, got home 9, sometimes 10 o'clock at night. It was brutal. And going through that, one of the things that was really beneficial for me was I learned about math. Why? Because I saw all the grade levels, What else did I see? I saw all the teaching methods, because every kid I talked to had a different teacher, a different school, a different textbook. They were teaching me everything. So that service became a tutoring service because I couldn't get to their houses. So we opened a center up in St. Pete, Florida. The kids came in and kept learning and learning and learning. But I was still doing both. And I was still in the world of public school teaching, still doing the tutoring. And then in 2008 is when it happened. And in 2008, I ran into a homeschool family. I was down in Sarasota, Florida at the time. The homeschool family, we started working, and they started referring me to more homeschoolers. And one day, one of the moms said to me, she goes, "You are so good at this. Why don't you just write your own book?" And I thought about it, and I thought, wow, that's what I've always wanted to do. But being encouraged really opened the door. And so I went home, I told my family, and of course they said, "You're crazy. There's no way. What do you know about writing books?" Everything that was kind of an idea of what I had and what my dreams were and what I wanted to do, right away, the people closest to me went, "No way." But I did it anyway. So I'm sharing that with you. Why? Because there are times when you think about, what are your dreams? And sometimes it's the people closest to you that'll say, "Don't do it." But I want you to know, do it. Trust. As Melanie was saying, trust in your faith, trust in God, whatever it is that you believe in, trust. Go for it, and your dreams will come true. So, as we started to look at our dreams coming true, my kids were 7 and 9 years old at the time. And my son was in third grade in public school. I'm working with the homeschoolers. I'm building curriculum. I'm doing all the things in the homeschool area. And I'm discovering what homeschooling is all about and loving it. And like, wow, this is amazing what's possible. My son, turns out, he's got a gift for dancing and music. And we started to look at, wouldn't it be cool if we could classically train him in Spain? So we did. So we got rid of everything, and everybody got one carry-on bag, one check bag, and boom, off we went and moved to Valencia, Spain in 2015. The kids were 8 and 10 at that time. So during that time, as they're growing up, one of the things we could do there as a homeschool family. So if you heard earlier today, homeschooling is different. It's very rigid in Europe. So one of the things that we did was we maintained a residence in Florida, which is where we were from, so that we could be on a long-term stay from Florida in Spain. And so we were still registered in Florida schools doing homeschooling from Spain. So it worked out perfect. And everybody was happy. Spain was happy. Florida was happy. It was all good. So my son, one of the things we could do with him was he was able to register in a music and dance conservatory, doing 30 hours a week of music and dance training for the same amount of money that he was getting in Sarasota, Florida for 2 group classes and 1 private class. So kind of think about the idea of what was possible in that arena, be able to give him the things that we do. My daughter, my kids have always spoken Spanish and English growing up, but my daughter, we discovered, had a gift for language. And in that gift for language, she's 18 years old now. She speaks 4 languages fluently. So she speaks English, Spanish, obviously, and then she speaks Italian and she speaks French. And I think French is her favorite language. So at 16 years old, she's been homeschooled since she was 8 years old. And she said, "Dad, I'm done with high school." I was like, "Oh, really? Well, what's that mean?" She goes, No, I'm done. I want to go to college." We thought, okay, honey, well, let's just look and see about your transcripts and where you are. Well, she had enough credits to graduate. So then we told her, we said, "Why don't we have you do some CLEP tests? Let's make sure." So what happened? She went to CLEP tests. She CLEPed out, and she ended up with 12 college credits during her now her junior year in high school, because she didn't do her senior year. So we applied to a college. We applied to an international university, and the international university said, "We can't take her. She's only 17. So they had to go in and they had to redo their paperwork, redo the certification with teachers so that they could have kids under 18 so that she could start college. And so she just finished her first year of college at Schiller University, which in Madrid now. So my son, in 2019, we had to move the family to Madrid because my son got moved from the conservatory in Valencia to the conservatory in Madrid, where he could start training to get on a professional track. So just so you get, this is my daughter, Schiller University. She's studying international business. She started when she was 17 years old. How did that happen? She was homeschooled. How did she learn 4 languages? She was homeschooled. So we start looking at what's possible. But there's more. This is my son, is Rafael. He is 20 years old, and he is a member of the Ballet Español de la Comunidad de Madrid. So my Spanish is terrible. But the 20-year-old, he is the top dancer in this company of 20 people. So 10 men, 10 women, and he's the #1 rated dancer in this company. So it's all flamenco. So it says ballet, but it's interesting. Ballet in Spain is also known as flamenco. So he's a professional flamenco dancer. He's 20 years old. How did we make that possible for him? We homeschooled. And we did what? We dreamed about what was possible. What was possible was let's move the family to where? To Spain. So we did. So can you start to look at what becomes available? Yeah. Now, we got a happy homeschool mom. So I want you to know, I went through my email just in the last couple of days, and these are emails that we've got from parents. We've got emails from kids. So I'll share a couple of these with you. What's it like? And it's not about our program. What it's about is it's about the success that homeschoolers have. So this family, they did use our program. The son was first grade, age 7, and he had diagnosed with malignant cancer at age 7. So he had a homebound teacher. It wasn't going well. He did chemo, he did radiation, he got back to school, and he started to slip. So he had ADD on top of that. In 3rd grade, they brought him home, and they used a program called Singapore Math, which is actually an amazing program for elementary age kids. Then he joined our program as a 7th grader doing our pre-algebra class. He's moving out. He's going to college. He's majoring in physics. This is a non-mathy kid that beat cancer and grew to love math. So, when you hear this, what happens is oftentimes we think about what is it like when we're not homeschooling? You're doing something different, right? Whatever that might be. But sometimes you get stuck and you get labeled. And as a label, you live into that label and you become that label. In homeschooling, that doesn't happen. In homeschooling, you can break free of those labels that sometimes get in our way. So that's what it looks like. So what about our program? So Mr. D Math, we're accredited, which was no easy task to accomplish. We're accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. We work with the NCAA for kids that want to participate in college sports. So during high school, they take our classes, and we're approved for the NCAA for kids that are college athletes. So what happened? How did we end up, as Tim was saying, how did we end up with American Sign Language and economics and study skills and digital music production? So everything that you see on the screen here is all done from students that either did what? That were my students way back when, and they decided they wanted to grow up and do what? They wanted to create their own curriculum. So we brought them onto the platform, or parents of our students. So everybody's familiar with our program. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what time it is. Okay, good. We're doing great. We have a technology program, music and dance, digital music production. We have math and much, much more, and test prep as well. So, this is just something from a young lady that sent me this August 7th, which was 2 days ago, just saying she got an A average. Thanks for running the course. So she built the concept up slowly and easily. She's so glad she's using our program. If you're interested in demoing our classes, it's mrdmath.com. On the main website, there's an area where you can demo. It will ask you to send us your email, and then we'll send you how to log into our curriculum site, and you can demo all of our classes, everything that you've just seen. Now, what about the Great Discovery? Well, with the Great Discovery, I put some micro classes on the platform. So we've taken samples of math classes, samples of different things. I have a goal setting program, which I love, and it's really, really great. But we've taken different samples. So pulled things out of algebra, where we talk about probability. Algebra 2, we talk about combinations and permutations. Geometry, about Pascal's triangle. There's a whole chapter from our pre-algebra course called Fractions Are Your Friends, for everybody that doesn't like fractions, right? Now, do I get excited about math? Absolutely. Are you going to get excited about math? I don't know if you get as excited as I am, but what I can tell you is that when you see the videos, the practice problems, how we teach, how we do things, how we let kids see how to correct their own work, which we're very much big on, that you'll see my excitement and energy in the videos, and you'll find these on the Great Discovery that are already there. If you want our full course, come to our website and you can see everything else. So I also wrote a book about self-directed learners. It's called Teach, and it's really about what are we trying to do? We're trying to create independently responsible learners. So this is also available on the Great Discovery. These are the chapters in the course. One of the things that we did is Tim's talked about being able to do translations. We actually translated this course in this book into 5 different languages, and you have the text to go with it, which also translates. So you can listen to it, you can read it as you're going, and it's free to you, and it's on the Great Discovery. So that's it. So I want to just say thank you. Thank you for being here today. For many of you who've been here since 10 o'clock this morning, as I have, thank you for that. Thank you for, if you're considering homeschooling, thank you for considering it. It will make a difference in your life and the lives of people you know, as well as for our homeschooling families out there. You're my heroes. I just want you to know. All right, thanks everyone. And that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Dennis. That was epic. If anybody
Very good.
needs any information, and you can always reach out to him right here at dennis@thegreatdiscovery.com. I think you'll be able to get to him, as well as drop your name in the chat, and he'll be able to touch base with you. Just great stuff. Thanks, Dennis. You're amazing. And for all the work that you've done as we've been going through this growing curve, thank you. We're coming into something magnificent, and a lot of it is because of your energy. Thank you so much.